By Constitutional Media, LLC. All opinions and statements made in this program are solely those of Nephi Khaliki or his guests and do not express the opinions of KDON or Odyssey. 1015 FM, KDON.
We love our guns, 'cause we love freedom. We are the ones who make a safer place we all can live in. There's a risk we're taking, not having any guns. With guns, we have a better chance for everyone.
All right, this is the Double Tap Show. My name is Nephi Khaliki, and we are here every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m., whether you like it or not. Joining me in the studio, as usual, is my partner in crime, the call-in ambulance guy, Mel.
Yo, Nephi, another show. I'm just glad that even though you pick on me all the time, out, not in the show.
In the street?
In the street, right. But you don't pick on me. You never destroyed me on the show. Let's keep it that way. So another show.
Are you surrendering before we've even got started?
That's true. I guess I might be. Yeah, because, okay, let's get on with the show.
All right. Well, also joining us in the studio today, and it's a kind of an impromptu, those of you that are watching, later will see the video part of this, but in the studio with us today is candidate for Clark County Republican Party Chairman, Jill Douglas. Jill, welcome to the Double Tap Show.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad to have you on here today. I told you, I warned you that this show requires hydration afterwards.
You have warned me.
I've warned you. So remember, I told you got to get on that mic like it's a porno.
Okay.
There you go. I can hear you perfectly now. So one of the things that is going on right now, people aren't really aware of, and this is sad that people aren't aware of it. And if you live in Clark County, then you should be paying attention to what we're going to be talking about today, because this does affect you. And if it doesn't affect you, then that's really kind of par for the course for this conversation. And that is that the Clark County Republican Party chairmanship is up for election next month. And this is important because it's Clark County. So if you're a Republican or conservative, and this is our body in Clark County. And Jill, I wanted to bring you on just to kind of give some scope to where we are. So how many people are registered Republicans in Clark County?
There are about 345,624
registered
Republicans.
And how many people are in the Clark County Republican Party as members?
The number that we had at the last meeting was 439. Now
you said 439?
It has grown since then because there were probably about 100 people in attendance that will come in as new members. But
Mel,
yes.
Yes.
You're a resident number cruncher. What percentage?
That's actually a little more than 1%.
Isn't it less than 1%?
No, it's 345,400 is a little more.
That's not 1%. Would be like,
it's about 1%, which is very low.
Yeah,
that's not how you look. It's low.
It's lower than you are short, Mel.
Probably is. On with the show.
Okay, so that's pathetic.
Yes.
That is utterly pathetic. And what that means to me is that 99% of Republicans don't jive with what the Clark County Republican Party's doing, or they'd be going. Am I wrong? Is that not the correct way to read it? That 99% of Republicans aren't feeling it? By your silence, I could see that you're a little stumped.
Well, no, I don't. You're never going to have everybody who gets involved, but clearly,
should be more.
We should have more. We should have more representation. What we do is critically important. I often hear people say, "Oh, I don't really get into politics." Excuse me. Everything, every day of our life is affected by the people that get elected into office. And so, yes, we should have more representation. And yes, it also reflects that a lot of people have turned off on on the party and are not getting involved the way that they should. Of course, I haven't seen the party do any outreach to grow and try to bring in and embrace all Republicans.
Speaking of which, that's an interesting point you bring up, Jill, because, you know, I have obviously my reputation as a bit of a rabble-rouser, and I like to stir up things, but I don't think anyone's ever questioned my patriotism. I have, in our Vegas CCW rosters, 23,000 plus students. In our Concealed Carriers Union, we have 36,000, which we should, I mean, if I brought those people to the Clark County Republican Party, we could 10 times the membership. But for what you just said, that's exactly the reason I would rather invite them to an MLM meeting than to bring them to the CCRP right now, the way that it stands right now. Because it's drama. It's high school, and all I hear is people me, or blaming someone else for everything that's going on. And you know what? The result is that less than 1% of the Republican population gives a crap about it.
Right. You know, I think that we do need to work on our brand, our image, how the community perceives us. There's right now, for most people, if you talk about the party, unfortunately, they would use words like disorganization, dysfunction, and divisiveness. And, you know, that's unfortunate because we have such an important message. We have such an important platform. And I'll tell you something else that's interesting about that. I was at a meeting with Jesse, and he mentioned that, oh, you know, people who stand here and say that the party's disorganized or divisive or dysfunctional, that's just not true. And people are just saying that because you're telling them that. No. People are not saying that because they're being told that. They're saying that because they see it and they're experiencing it.
Yeah. Well, how dare you bring it up?
Right. Like, we can see.
Yeah. Jill, I got to ask you a question. Why do you want this job?
Oh, that's a great question. Some would say, are you crazy?
I would.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. It's really, first of all, it's not about me. It's really all about service to others. My entire life has been devoted to service to others, making a difference. You know, change only happens when people are willing to step up and devote themselves to a worthy cause and to challenge the status quo. And if we want to make it better, it only gets better when we're willing to step forward and say, I can do this. It needs to change. I don't care how you look at it right now. For the things that the party is supposed to be accomplishing, the grade right now is failure, because we should be winning elections. We should be electing Republicans. We had less representation in the state legislature this session than last session.
But that, Jill, let me redirect you back to, I think, because I want to really hone in on a specific point. And correct me if I'm wrong. What I think I hear you saying is that there's only two reasons that you would run for this office. Let's just give a given that you're crazy.
Yeah,
because
okay.
it's not a paid position, right?
It's not a paid position.
So it's either service to yourself or service to others.
It's service to others. I'm a servant leader. I feel blessed to have been given certain abilities, but it's about the party. I am extremely patriotic. I love this country, and here's what I know. You know, Donald Trump ran. Donald Trump ran because he saw that there were problems in America, and he knew he was the right person to come in with his skills and say, I want to make America great again. We're we've been great. We've got some problems. I want to make it great again. I want to make Clark County great, because here's what I know. For America to be great, our states have to be great. And for our states to be great, our counties and our communities have to be great. Our state is unique in that Clark County makes up about 85% of the population of the state. The state can't be successful if we don't win Clark County. It's that critical. And so Clark County needs someone who is focused on the party, serving other people. How can I help the party be better tomorrow than it is today? If you look right now under current leadership and you say, is the party better off today than it was 2 years ago? The answer is no.
Hell no.
And so for me, yes, if you compare me to Jesse, we're a very stark contrast. I'm not looking for any type of title, position, or financial gain. I am financially secure and stable. I am not looking for this to get in this position and use it to create relationships that would have any kind of financial gain for me, like consulting positions or anything like that. My total interest is bringing people together around a common vision. You know, the Bible says, without vision, the people perish. We have to have vision. And so we have to recognize that as individuals, we may not agree on everything, but what we can agree on is our faith, our family, and freedom, and electing people into office that are going to carry that banner. And so it's totally about service to other people.
I agree with you, Jill. We're going to be going to a quick break here real quick, and when we come back, we're going to dig into this a little bit more, because I'm going to bring some things up, and Jill, I appreciate, first of all, your bravery. You coming on my show after everybody's upset about me doing this roast, you are a brave woman. So
thank you.
I want to remind everybody about our sponsors, right? SafeGunlock.com. If you are a gun owner and you don't secure your firearm, at some point they're going to blame you for it if you get lost. They're going to charge you for it while the criminal walks free. So we've been very, very supportive of SafeGunlock.com. It is a very revolutionary, game-changing lock that allows you to lock and secure the gun as if it is in a safe, but it still can be operated and function and handled for training or for safety. So SafeGunlock.com. When we get back, we'll pick this up.
Paid for by government.com. Do you know which United States silver dollar was preferred by the gangsters and bootleggers during the Roaring '20s and Prohibition? The American Peace Dollar. That's right. These silver dollars replaced the Wild West Cowboys' favorite, the Morgan silver dollars, over 100 years ago. And like the Morgans, they're struck in 90% fine silver by the United States Mint. If you call 1-800-495-6468 right now, we'll send you a full pound bag of Peace silver dollars, all in very good collector's condition. Guaranteed. Coin experts estimate that fewer than 16% of all Peace silver dollars still exist. Call 1-800-495-6468 now to secure a full pound of collector-grade U.S. Peace silver dollars. Plus, receive a bonus American Coin Collector's Bonus Pack, valued at over $25, free with every order. Don't miss your chance. Call 1-800-495-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of silver dollars before they're gone. That's 1-800-495-6468.
My son stopped talking to me. He didn't want to leave his room.
I didn't feel like talking to anyone. I just wanted to be alone.
I was really worried about my daughter. She was angry all the time.
I felt so depressed.
I was really worried about my daughter.
I couldn't do anything right. I was always getting yelled at.
My son told me he wanted to hurt himself. I was so scared.
I was feeling hopeless. It was all too much.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
I needed help.
I called the Mobile Crisis Response Team, and we met with them that same day.
A crisis team came to my house and helped me talk to my parents about how I was feeling.
I called the Mobile Crisis Response Team. They met with us that day.
I talked to them about how I was feeling, and it really helped.
Sometimes understanding what children are experiencing can be difficult.
The Nevada Children's Mobile Crisis Response Team provides mental health intervention and support. Learn more at nocrisis.com. This message sponsored by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Nevada is the driest state in the nation, and we must work together to preserve our limited water resources for future generations of Nevadans. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Clean up yard waste and grass clippings. Wash your car at a car wash or on grass or gravel. Apply pesticides and fertilizers sparingly in your yard. Safely dispose of household chemicals. Clean up leaks and spills. And don't litter. Secure trash in bins. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations by visiting loveenvywaters.com and following us on social media.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Food, utility assistance, healthcare, housing. Find the resources available in your community. Free and confidential help is here 24/7. Download the app. Text your zip code to 898-211. Call 211. Visit nevada211.org or chat with a specialist on our website. Get connected. Get help.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Flea for This Little Light, a podcast about falling in love with music. I started a nonprofit music school about 20 years ago called the Silver Lake Conservatory of Music. The reason that I started doing this podcast was music education. I'll be speaking with Rick Rubin, Thundercat, Stuart Copeland, Margot Price, Corey Henry, Cynthia Erivo, Sheila E., and Patty Smith.
Please listen and follow This Little Light, a presentation of Cadence 13 on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
1015 FM KDON.
Is your man a little sissy? If so, he may qualify for a free CCW. Go to our website at vegasccw.com and enter the code I'm a little bitch, and the free CCW class is yours. Present your bruises at the door and bam, you're in. vegasccw.com. Making the world a safer place, one little bitch at a time.
All right, we are back. This is the Double Tap Show. My name is Nephi Khaliki, and we're here every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m., whether you like it or not, bitches. So, Mel.
Yes.
I saw you over there making a bunch of faces. I know you get triggered when we talk about Trump. And I don't want to get onto that subject.
Oh, yeah. Don't.
Yeah, you do.
Don't. Don't.
I don't want to trigger you, Mel, but
yeah.
I will say.
You are, but you are going to trigger me, right?
Well, you're triggered because you get triggered. That's not your own responsibility.
Go for it.
I'm not going to trigger you. I just wanted to point out that you were getting triggered.
Oh, okay.
You were getting all hot and bothered. So, Clark County Republican Party. Look, I've been Republican my whole life, as long as I can remember. I've been involved in politics in Clark County since 1996. And I've seen we had 30-year run as a red state, and that didn't change until Michael McDonald was in office. And I've known Jesse Law for, 15 years. Known him a long time, and I've hesitated over the years, to say anything because, we've smoked hookah together. And that's kind of a sacred covenant. You smoke hookah with somebody, you better show some loyalty. But there's there's some truth, and that the more I just observe over time, look, man, no excuses. You either winning and you're doing the job, or you step aside. If you're really interested in doing it, there's only two reasons to do this. Either out of duty to self or duty to others. One is selfish and the other is unselfish. And you know what? I've walked out of a few meetings because I just couldn't handle how much these meetings became about Jesse Law pontificating about himself. I this, I that, and he's got an excuse for everything. You know what? I know what leaders look like. And leaders, they accept responsibility for the success and the failures within the organization. And if you complain about people that are disrupting the group, they're creating tension and havoc, I'm sorry, man, that is a reflection of your piss poor leadership. If I have students in my class and I'm a elementary school teacher and I can't get my class under control, that's not a reflection of crappy little kids. It's a reflection of crappy teachers. And I'm tired of hearing the excuses, but most of all, I'm tired of losing. Because I'm not a loser. I am a winner. I am a person who conquers everything that I tackle in my life. And when I go to the party and I see the drama and I see the excuses, I see nothing but weakness. Wow. I see nothing but weakness. And now I've known Jesse for like almost 15 years, and I've known Jill Douglas. This is the first time we've really sat down. Because, most people in the party, on that side of it are terrified of me. And they should be. But I want what's best for the party. And not so much to go that way, Jill. I think it's more, I want what's best for our freedoms. Not the party, because to be honest with you, I don't think that the party itself is necessarily designed for our freedoms as much as it has devolved into an illusion for many people.
It's interesting because having made so many thousands of phone calls and knocked on thousands of doors, more often than not, when you talk in terms of what's important to people, I think the majority of people are Republicans. They just don't know it, and I think we have somehow failed to communicate our message.
That comes back to leadership again. Now this is the stupid thing, and I'm going to step on my soapbox for just a second, if you'll indulge me, Jill. Jesse Law knows, and Michael McDonald knows, that I command a very large audience, and I have very loyal followers, and I have more students for CCW than the Clark County Republican Party has members. That's not a slam. That's pathetic. It's utterly pathetic. And not to rope me in when I have reached out many times of how I could more than 10 times easily the Clark County Republican Party. And people like Susan Prophet and other people have said, Nephi, you got to get all your people in. And I said, no, I'm not going to bring them in. The people that are here now need to fix their own damn problem first. Right? Change it out. Now, I don't know that any leader is going to be perfect, and I don't have that expectation of anyone. However, I know that if you truly care about the people and you are in a position to help, then you do it. That's called duty. But if you are in a position and you want to help and you want to serve and you're not getting the job done, then you need to be willing to do your duty to step aside. And I don't know why we should have an election. I think Jesse should be stepping aside. The results are there, right? I think it's clear from anybody that's paying attention to any meetings that they've been in with Jesse, isn't it just about him? And it's not about him. It's about us. That's not what leadership is. It's not me. It's you. How can I empower and enable you to get us together, to organize us into a force multiplier to get certain objectives accomplished? And it's a colossal failure. The membership alone should be a testament against Jesse Law.
That's correct. So one of the things when I think about it is effective leaders have certain traits. One of those traits is the ability to set clear goals and then work on tactics, actions that are going to help you meet those goals. I've never seen a goal for the organization in any way. What is our goal to grow? I don't think there's been one. In fact, in some ways, it seems like we do a lot of things that discourage growth.
Jill, you're being nice. But let me just let me step in there for you and tell you that the practices and things that have happened under Jesse Law's quote unquote leadership has been to chase people away from the party. You want to amass massive numbers of people that you have relationships with. You have those that are active, you have those that are inactive, those that have moved. You have all these different characteristics and demographics about that list. And you want to be talking about, we have 25,000 members, even though maybe only, 30% of them are active, right? Because it's like having an event where you have 500 seats, but 200 show up. Get rid of those 300 seats before you start filming because it looks bad, right?
Right.
You should be finding ways to increase the volume and increase activity. I have told them I have the website, partyrepublican.com, and I'd be willing to donate that to the party to start promoting events that target a younger demographic. I don't know, like the Great Republican Roast or the Great Tomato Debates and other events that we've pitched to the party, and they don't want to do it, right?
Well, again, I think, I would go back and say, if we have 346,000 registered Republicans, how many of them know how you become a member of the Clark County Republican Party? How many of them know when the party meets? How many of them have ever received an invitation to attend?
Jill, why would somebody want to join the Clark County Republican Party? I want to ask you that question. What is the appeal? What do they get out of it?
Well, that's an excellent question. I can only say what they should get out of it because I don't.
Well,
think
that's what I wanted to hear you say.
They haven't been getting out of it what they should.
They've been getting jack nothing.
Yeah.
The drama.
Correct. Which is why, I was approached by multiple people who've said, Jesse had an opportunity, but he has not displayed the ability to do the things that need to be done, and we need someone who has a proven track record, who can rally people together, who can create vision, who's willing to work hard, and people have seen me in action, and so they know what my skill sets are, and so they said, we need a leader like you. Would you be willing to do it? And to go back to your even original question, it's something you have to really think long and hard about because you're like, am I crazy to want to do this?
Nobody in their right mind would aspire to this stupid job.
But then at the same time, it's just the passion I have to serve people, and that's been with me forever. I do not seek a title or power or position. I had all of those things in corporate America, and I was at a time in my life when I could retire. And I retired in order to be able to really get involved with politics. Another interesting thing you mentioned, I was among the group of individuals that got to register at 18. I registered Republican. I've always been a Republican. I've never voted for anyone but a Republican because I think there's such a difference in the platform of the party. And so it's interesting that that's another stark contrast with Jesse and I. If you look at the two of us, stark contrast, our personal lives, stark contrast. I'm long-term married with 4 grown sons with 8 grandchildren. There is a difference in I'm financially secure. I don't need to do this. And I'll tell you, let's talk about some of the things I won't do. I will not take money from donors for consulting fees. I won't have ethics complaints, and I promise I won't use anyone's social security number.
Oh, snap.
So I'm just telling you, there's a stark contrast personally, there's a stark contrast financially, and there's a stark contrast professionally. I have 30 years with the same, in the same industry, working my way up, rolling up my sleeves, putting in the sweat equity to build a business from scratch. And as a result of the success in being self-employed, my company asked me to use those skill sets to start a branch agency that I built to 23 people, becoming one of the top producing branches in the company. And as a result of that, I was eventually made an agency vice president overseeing the states of Nevada, Arizona, and Colorado. I worked with teams of people. I had 8 agency managers. I had a sales workforce of several hundred individuals. I was responsible for multi-millions of dollars of budget. I know what it takes to bring people together. Within Jesse's background, one of the things in my background, I have hired a lot of people. When you're in the financial services industry, you hire a lot of people. And I know how to read resumes. And there's a stark contrast. One of the things I recognized early on is the best indicator of future success is prior success. And success breeds success. And when you look at my background, it's a background of someone who's willing to work very, very hard to be successful. When I started my business, my husband said, "Are you sure about this?" And I said, "You know what? Here's what I know. If I have to go over it, under it, or around it, I will get the job done." But it starts with knowing what you want to accomplish. And so one of the problems with the organization, it lacks organization because there haven't been defined goals.
And we're broke.
Right. And so it was really troubling at the last meeting when we found out how broke we were. And so again, from a point of leadership, why should anyone vote for you to retain your position when you haven't done the things that you were elected to do? And it's very interesting.
Well,
I don't even know if I can.
While
find
you
this.
do that,
Yeah.
Jill, I want to, we have time constraints here, but I want to kind of cut to the chase. I would say that your resume and your experience, you look like a stable adult who's grounded.
Yes.
And if you look at Jesse, and if you know him like I've known him over the years, he's like a teenager who's still searching, doesn't have any stability. He's couch flopping. He doesn't know who he is or what he's doing. But at the end of the day, Jill, the result, like it's your end of the year P&Ls, right? Let's look at, the end result. What's the end test? Is it an A-? Is it a plus, a B, a D? And we're failing. We're broke. He's put us in debt. We don't have, and I'm going to tell you, I'll give you the answer to this, what people want. What I get out of the Republican Party, what I get is to be a part of a community. And that means things like Party Republican and doing events that are more on the fun side and the, community fellowship side than they are on the political side, right? Because we need to be unified that way. You're not going to unify us with these stupid meetings.
Right.
We're not, it's not going to happen. And so we need someone, and true leadership is going to be someone that is a talent scout, someone that can access and knows how to identify tools and resources to bring people in there with skill sets in different areas that can build up the whole of the group, and not because the party's holding him up. They're holding him up. And I think what we need to do right now is drop him on his stupid head and get on with the party so that we can get some stuff done.
Right. And it's interesting because in an article that was written when Jesse was running, was commenting about the previous leader, Dave Sajak. And the article says the current feckless leadership of Dave Sajak failed to raise any real money. It goes on and it says, instead, Sajak chased away donors and volunteers alike.
Sounds like Jesse.
And I say you could actually take that, change that and put Jesse Law in, because he has chased away donors. The reason we don't have the funds, quite honestly, is because the donors don't trust Jesse to handle finances. And they don't trust Jesse to spend the money the way it is supposed to be spent.
So, Jill, I think that's absolutely right. We're going to go to a quick break. And if you are getting hot and bothered, if you're Jesse Law right now, you should be sweating bullets. Right? Because sense makes sense. And if you're hot and bothered, you should get down to hydrate.vegas. And you should hydrate yourself. Get your creaky bones all oiled up and lubed up. The people at hydrate.vegas are located over on Sahara and Buffalo. Really nice people. Gene and his wife, Francesca, they're awesome people. They do ionized water, alkalized water, so that you can hydrate better, faster. It works 10 times faster than water, and it doesn't have all the crap in it. So when we get back from the break, We're going to kind of finish this subject up. We're going to dig into it, make some conclusions. I'm going to bring Mel's stupid opinion into the subject. So we'll be back just a minute.
Tired of scale buildup? It's Claire Beverly. Reduce hard water headaches with a LifeSource home water system for longer lasting appliances and showers that shine. It's easy. No filters, no salt, no maintenance. They install it so you can enjoy it. Call on the source. LifeSource. Own a LifeSource water system for $75 a month on approved credit. Call 888-725-1181 to speak with a factory rep. 888-725-1181. LifeSourceWater.com.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a Pregnancy Risk Assessment Monitoring System survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, I'm Diana. As a veteran, I know that for many servicemen and women, the battle doesn't always end when they come home. Because I too struggle with the invisible wounds of service. Thankfully, I found American Humane's Pups for Patriots program, which brought Sam into my life. Before being paired with Sam, I didn't get out of bed for most days. Pups for Patriots and Sam literally changed my life. Now I'm able to go to the store without having a panic attack. I'm finally able to live my life the way I want to live it. Pups for Patriots provides trained service dogs to veterans like me at no cost. If you're a veteran or know a veteran struggling with post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury, please go to AmericanHumane.org to learn about their Pups for Patriots service dog program. Let's give our veterans a fighting chance.
A message from American Humane.
Somewhere at a house party, a beer pong ends in victory.
You're done, son!
The loser takes another hit of weed and staggers towards the door.
You okay, man? Dude, I've never even been pulled over.
Yet.
Who asked you? I don't even have a speeding ticket.
Yet.
Come on, it's not that serious.
Yet.
Ooh, ouch, man.
Bad things haven't happened yet. Always drive sober. This message sponsored by Nevada Departments of Public Safety and Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Youth and young adult, education, employment, behavioral and mental health. Find resources for youth in your community. Free and confidential help is here 24/7. Download the Youth app for yourself, a friend, or your family. Text your zip code to 898-211. Call 211, visit nevada211.org, or chat with a specialist on our website. Get connected. Get help.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Attention Nevada residents. Education is key to unlocking your potential and achieving success. Unfortunately, 16% of Nevada students do not graduate high school, leaving them at a disadvantage. But there is hope. The Battleborn Youth Challenge Academy, a voluntary and tuition-free educational program offered by the National Guard, is here to help. Using a military model and an 8-core component curriculum, the Academy is dedicated to reclaiming the potential of disproportionately affected youth. The program is designed for those who are dedicated to becoming a better version of themselves. For more information or to talk to the admissions team, please visit our website at battlebornyouthchallenge.org. That's battlebornyouthchallenge.org. This message is sponsored by Battleborn Youth Challenge Academy in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
I never seen it like this.
We've lost a lot of loved ones in our family.
I lost some family members to COVID.
So many of my patients pass away from COVID.
People dying. It didn't matter your color, your race, your sex.
Death has no particular color. It comes after us all.
Every human life has value. Just does.
COVID taught us health matters.
Health matters. Visit nmhec.org. This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Minority Health and Equity, and in cooperation by the Nevada Broadcasters Association and the station.
101.5 FM, KDON.
You gotta know when to draw down, when to call the law down, know when to move and know when to shoot. You better move for cover. In the middle of a gunfight, there's no time to be a hero till the shooting's done.
All right, we are back. It's Nephi Khaliki with the Double Tap Show. We're here every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. So joining us in the studio today is Jill Douglas. She is candidate for Clark County Republican Party chairwoman. Man, I don't even know what to say anymore. This gay stuff is really a pain in the ass, Mel. Got me all confused about what to say about stuff. People ask, which bathroom can I use? And I'm like, whichever's open. I don't know what to do anymore. Anyway, speaking of which, again, I want to congratulate you, Jill, for having massive courage. Not many people can sit across the table from me and not tremble.
I appreciate the opportunity for a forum to have a voice, because that's another thing that's concerning, is that as a party, we've talked about the importance of having fair elections. And it's very difficult to have a fair election in the county party when you're not given an avenue to be able to get in front of the party.
Isn't that what we complain about all the time?
Yeah.
And then they do it to each other.
In 4 months or 3 months since I declared, I've been given 2 minutes. And
that's all Jesse Law ever
I
needs.
asked for a membership list. And I was given, after about 35 days, I got a list of names. And I said, well, this isn't a membership list. A membership list, if you ask most people, what is a membership list? They'd say, oh, that's a listing of people who belong to an organization, their names and contact information. Well, I can't get the contact information because I have to have the members' permission. Well, how do I get their permission if I don't know how to contact them?
The party gets the permission, and
so,
if you're a member of the party, you should be able to get it.
I'm trying to go around town doing meet and greets and things and advertising it, and in fairness, the party said they will share my flyers because I want to create opportunity for people to come out and really get to know me and really get to know what I'm all about. Because again, there's a really stark difference. I can tell you that I believe it's important to listen. And I don't think that happens. I think we need to create an institution where everybody feels they get a seat at the table. Everybody gets to be heard. We can agree to disagree on some things, and then we move forward towards what we're trying to accomplish.
I agree with you. So, Jill, I want to bring this up because I've had similar experience recently. Right? It seems like they're trying to hamstring you and cut you off at the knees so you can't, effectively run a campaign, while he uses every single meeting that we have as a platform to talk about himself and torture us with his butchering of the national anthem. I had the event scheduled for Stoney's for the Great Republican Roast, which was Jesse Law's idea. He wanted somebody to roast him so he could, control the jokes and make it look like he's a good sport. But then when he finds out that I want to do the roast on him, which who's going to do the roast on Jesse Law or anybody in the party but me? That's my very reputation. Of course I'm going to be the one to do it. And so what does he do? Him and Michael McDonald go down there, basically threaten Stoney's not to have this event. Cost Stoney's $10,000 in lost revenue. Pulling the rug out from underneath people. Like, I'm telling you, man, you mess with me. So I'm going to do it. And people that weren't here last week, we're going to do the roast on the air live here at the stations.
That's interesting. I mean, we've got important things to talk about, and to think that what he would be focused on is trying to reach out and put together a roast on himself. It's also interesting because I do want to make it clear, I'm running to help the county, to help the registered Republicans in the county rally around the things that are important to us, elect Republicans, which isn't happening. I've attended 3 different meetings lately where Jesse was also in attendance. And you're right, an effective leader knows when they haven't executed and they take ownership. The buck stops with you. I have heard in 3 separate meetings lately where he has deflected and has actually tried to put the blame for his failures on the state. Where he said, well, the state didn't provide me this or the state didn't do that. No. The buck stops with you. Jesse, what have you been doing? Because you know what? During the election season, I've talked to every candidate. I worked with most of them. And every one of them would say, we got no support from the county. Jesse
that's
never,
Jesse and that's
Jesse
his
didn't
job.
make a phone call. Jesse didn't knock on a door. I made thousands of phone calls. I knocked on thousands of doors. I worked with a team of people that collectively made 21,000 phone calls and logged 65,000 volunteer hours. I know how you work with a team because together, that's how you make a difference. You bring people together. You create an environment that embraces people, and together you work towards your objectives. He's not been able to bring people together.
Jill, I think it's because, as we said, and to kind of bring this full circle, I asked you the question in the beginning, why would you want this job? And the answer is that there's 2 kinds of reasons to do this job. Number 1, to serve yourself, and B, to serve others. And I think anyone the voting comes down to this very simple idea. Do you believe that Jesse Law has entered this job and seeks to retain it for serving himself or serving other people? And the decision that we would have to make about you, Jill, is do we believe that you want to get involved in this job to serve yourself or to serve others? And I think the proof's in the pudding. I think if you look at the numbers, you look at the results, I see a stable person on your side of things that, of course, you'd have to be someone who doesn't need the money to do this job. And I happen to know Jesse personally. He struggled financially for a very long time. He's not stable. And he's a grown man living in an apartment, if even that anymore, with no stable career. Like, those kinds of things are going to reflect in your business as well. With your business deal is going to reflect in how you would manage the county. You'd manage it with the same disorganization. And so for people deciding on who they're going to support, I don't care whether it's like Jesse or don't like Jill. Jill, I don't know you enough to like you, right? But what I care about is, where are we going to be able to go? Am I going to have the organization? Are we going to be doing membership building? And are we going to manage our finances like intelligent people? Because we can't do this without money. And nobody wants to give Jesse Law money.
Right. And I told Jesse in the beginning, it's not personal, it's business. The question is the county in a better position today after 2 years of having Jesse as the chair? Is it in a better position or not? The answer is it's not. And to that point, quite frankly, I've talked to some people in other counties, and they tell me that in many counties, a chair serves 2 years, you're 2 years in, and you're out. And actually, elections are divisive in and of themselves. We could cut back on some divisiveness by saying, hey, every 2 years you get a new chair. I don't want to do this forever.
I agree with that, Jill. I appreciate you coming on the show. Before we tap out here, I want to remind people, if you don't have your concealed weapons permit, something's wrong with you. Get your sorry ass down to vegasccw.com and register for a class. Look, what happened during COVID, everybody rushed to get their permits because they had imminent jeopardy and they wanted to protect themselves, but they got to wait 120 days. You don't have to carry right now. But get the permit so that when the you-know-what hits the fan, you could just throw it in your purse or throw it in your bag or put it in your waistband, and you're good to go. You're covered. So vegasccw.com, you will get to do your class with yours truly, Mr. Nephi Khaliki, the CCW bad boy. We will be back next week for the Double Tap Show. Stay tuned.
The previous program was paid for by Constitutional Media LLC.
Hi, I'm Lorraine